Hello everyone. Are you all sitting comfortably, or hunched over a laptop screen, lying in bed scrolling Facebook and YouTube? This week, I've been watching movies from the 80s. Chris Columbus, after discovering America in 1492, decided to go into films, and debuted his first feature, Adventures in Babysitting, in 1987. This film takes place across one evening where Chris, played by Elizabeth Shue, babysits for two 15-year-olds and a Thor-obsessed 8-year-old girl. Much hilarity ensues when Chris agrees to pick up her friend from the inner city and has to take her wards with her. This film was typical Columbus with its good soundtrack and young children characters. In regards to the children, it was a very honest portrayal of them, particularly the teenagers, who didn't shy away from swearing and talking incessantly about sex. Apparently, there has been a remake which seems to take the original and water down its content considerably to create a run-of-the-mill Disney Channel original movie. The two uses of the F-bomb in this movie make sure that it is a film about 15-year-olds aimed at 15-year-olds. It's a fun romp, and I like to imagine a Marvel universe where Vincent D'Onofrio played Thor for more than just a 5-minute cameo. Not many people's favourite Disney movie is The Black Cauldron. Based very loosely on the Chronicles of Prydain, it follows the adventures of a young pig keeper called Taran as he goes in search of his kidnapped pig across a fantastical land where an evil tyrant known as the Horned King strikes fear into the hearts of men. The Horned King is voiced by John Hurt and steals every scene he's in with his menacing voice and terrifying visage. Not going to lie, it's very similar to and seems inspired by The Lord of the Rings in storyline. But it also seems to me that Peter Jackson and Andy Serkis could have been inspired by the gurgling voice and personality of Gurgi when rendering their look and voice of Gollum. It's an underrated gem, The Black Cauldron, and whilst maybe too scary for Disney's usual audience, I feel it more closely resembles something as experimental as Ghibli's work. It's a shame then that one never sees the characters in amongst Disney's theme parks or group shots. In particular, I know for a fact I've never seen a doll of the staunchly feminist Princess Alonwi. Every background is painted exquisitely, every shot beautiful, and I could really see flashes of future Disney scenes in a lot of the film, an example being the characters sinking into a pond, clearly a precursor to the Lake of the Dead in Hercules. I would advise any Disney fan to go out and seek the Black Cauldron, just maybe put the kids to bed first. I'm probably going to annoy a lot of big fans of John Hughes when I say I didn't see the charm and fun in 16 Candles. I thought it was crass on many levels, not least of which was the blatant racism with the character of Long Duck Dong. The titular 16 Candles are for Sam, played by Molly Ringwald, but alas, her birthday has been forgotten by her entire family as they prepare for her older sister's wedding. It's typical teeny fodder. She pines for the cool boy in class, one Jake Ryan, who she's never spoken to. He falls in love with her anyway, and we wait the entire length of the film for them to meet, both knowing that they want the other. Mix in with that an unhealthy dose of questionable behaviour towards unconscious characters, and most of the laughs are at the expense of a racist caricature and a geek girl with disabling headgear. In Beverly Hills Cop, Eddie Murphy plays a cop in, guess where? That's right, Detroit. When an old acquaintance is killed in his apartment building, he is forced to go rogue, travelling to Beverly Hills, California to investigate. He hits every cop cliche going, but it's so enjoyable, and Eddie Murphy's Axel Foley so charmingly cheeky that it's a great film. It's truly Murphy at his showboating best. When there's a hint at a buddy cop comedy towards the end, the drama quickly changes and Murphy is put once again in the hot spot. The theme music Axel F is catchy and addictive, and without the crazy frog ruining the vibe, I know I'll have it in my head for at least a few weeks. It's worth watching just to see Breaking Bad's Jonathan Banks covered in buffet desserts. I've seen the most insane tiger film of all time. And no, I'm not talking about Netflix's Tiger King, I'm talking about Raw, the Noel Marshall film about a man from Chicago who runs a tiger, lion and elephant sanctuary in Africa, and his family come to visit him there. The story is loose, and looks like it's been improvised from filming mainly the tigers and lions going throughout their day. It's absolutely insane, and that's just the story in front of the camera. Reading up on it, the quoted number of accidents is around the 70 mark, but watching the film, I found myself on edge waiting for something, anything to go wrong. It's a fascinating watch, and one for anyone who loves felines, but not for the faint of heart. Fair play to husband and wife team Noel Marshall, director, writer, producer, production designer and actor, and Tippi Hedren, producer and actor, for roping the rest of their family into the danger. Whilst absolutely awful in terms of story and with many inconsistencies, I still think this film must be seen to be believed. 11 years ago, at Glastonbury Festival, I saw a band whose film was arguably the most famous rock mockumentary since the Rutles' All You Need Is Cash 6 years earlier. This is Spinal Tap. This week, I finally watched the film. I feel like I'd seen most of the film anyway through various parodies and clip shows. It often gets cited in lists of greatest comedy films and greatest films of the 80s. Arguably, the most popular quote and one that sums up the comedy in this film is, "These go to 11." It's dynamite. Clearly a massive inspiration for films even to this day, with Popstar, Never Stop, Never Stopping and David Brent, Life on the Road recent releases. Thanks for watching. Keep on trucking. Give us a like on this here YouTube. Wash those hands. Eat well and breathe